to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right. Hello, everybody. Finally, I am here. Sorry. First, my internet wasn't working, and then the live streaming software was not working. I don't know why. There's always technical difficulties. But I'm here. Finally, we're doing a show. Let's... Yeah. Hi, guys. Today is not my day. I just hit the mic, and the mic went out. So bear with me here. It's 12:40 at night here. I'm going to try to do a great show for you guys. I think, you know, there's a lot that I want to say today and a lot that I'm not going to be able to get into the broadcast today, but I'm going to include it in a report I'm working on. I'm working on it. We had our first TRI baby powder report, written report, and if you haven't read it, check it out. That was the bull case. We're getting a bit of a bear right now, but I'm going to talk about why I don't think it's the full bear yet. And my next report is going to talk about that a bit, along with some other higher time frame stuff that I usually don't go into in these shows. Anyway, without further ado, hello, everybody. Good to see you. Hello, good to see Lori, Mercedes, Ucha, Gills, Gianluca, Ghost, Zurikella, Archery, 1075. 1075 has been posting some very nice charts in the Daily Brief room over here. If you haven't seen, definitely check him out. He's pretty spot on lately. So thank you, 1075, for your contributions. I appreciate it. Okay, so first thing, does everyone know? Has everyone seen this? This 60%? I don't think I've never seen investor sentiment at 60%. 60% bearish. That's crazy. How can we crash if 60% of investors are bearish on the market? Usually that's a bottom, or at least we're close. I'm not saying it's today, but we're close. We're close. So that's my first thing. My first reason for why I don't think we're going to get a massive crash. My second thing is, what do you guys think? Let's pull up the chart over here. Layouts. Where is it? I've got two global liquidity ones. Global liquidity 1 and global liquidity 2. Slightly different calculations. And I've been posting about this every day. And I also want to bring it up over here because it provides a bit. The one I'm going to show you only provides data every week, but the one I like to look at, it updates every day. Yeah, Treasury General Account Balance. Yeah, I want to get 1075 on. I'm gonna get them on one day. Sorry if it freezes a little bit. It's because my computer's loading. This is not the one I want. I use a different browser when I do this stream. This one, the fiscal data. Severity around the liquidity, max pain. Yeah, pretty much. So let me just let this load. While that's loading, I'm going to show you. So this is interesting how liquidity actually dropped here this week. It shows a drop. And then here we also have a little bit of a drop. So interesting to see that we did have a small drop. However, if we go to the TGA here and we look at closing balances, if I could spell closing. Look at the big drop in the TGA. We're at 623,000. That's big. Just here on the 11th, only 2 weeks ago, we were at 842. So they've drawn down over 220 billion about 220 billion in 2 weeks. And the drop from yesterday to today, massive, absolutely massive. I'm also watching RRP to see if RRP is refilling. I read about RRP refilling, reverse repo facilities. Now the reason this stuff matters for anyone that's not aware, we're looking at how much liquidity is being injected into the market. That's kind of what drives markets. Repo, reverse repo. Actually, I don't want to look at this one. I keep clicking the wrong ones. This one I want. Yeah, so let's see if the reverse repo has increased. All right, let's zoom in here. Slight increase. So you are getting increases in the reverse repo, and that's banks essentially pulling money out of the market and putting it into the repo facility. But it's not big, right? So we had 187 on the 31st, and now we're just about at 126. It's not a huge difference, but still 30 billion moved out. So you have 30 billion put into reverse repo, taken out of the market, and then we have approximately 90 billion injected into the market, which gives us a net of 60 billion injected into the market. However, we're still dropping, and my weekly updates are not looking great, but this includes a lot more. This is global liquidity. This is just the US, and then this is global. So we're watching those two, but I want to see a spike in both of these next week. And we will if this TGA keeps being drawn down at this rate. Like if this is if 500 billion by tomorrow, that's a big deal. So that's one thing making me think, okay, it can't crash yet because the TGA is injecting liquidity. So the money is going into the system, and usually when liquidity is injected, the market heads higher. However, this will stop. You only have another 4 weeks. The other thing, of course, like I said, is the sentiment. I don't think if 60% of people are bearish, the market is going to just fall off a cliff here. Fear and greed was 14 during COVID crash. It is now 10. Yeah, exactly. So I was going to talk about fear and greed on crypto next. So crypto is at 20, right? We're down here at 20. When was the last time we were even at 20? This thing only goes back to 2023. It's never been this low ever on this chart. I wish I could go back. Let me see, like crypto. Let's go back. Crypto, fear, and greed. Maybe this one has some more up-to-date fear and greed index from Binance. Maybe CZ can help us out here. We have historical. So extreme fear, they have 10. Interesting that they have 10 and the other one had 20. I want historical. I don't want... Why is it loading so slow? Crypto, fear and greed, historical chart. Wow, a lot of people here. 37. You guys must be interested in not losing money. Hopefully everyone is doing well, by the way, and you had spare cash, and you are deploying it responsibly. Okay, so this one says 10 also. Where's the historical data? Okay, here we go. How far does it go back? 2018. Okay, so this has the lowest. So right now we're at 10, right? And we got to 10 before in June 13th, 2022, and also in June of 2021. So those are the two times. Also January 2022. And also here. And let's go back to 2020, March 19, 2020. What happened back then? March 19th, 2020. Right here. So this area right here, these two, this was March 2020 right there. Okay, so that was a bottom. Let's go to the next one. We're just gonna work through this quickly. March. Let's go here. It started around May 20th, 2021. May 20th, probably here, right? So May 20th was here. So there you go. There's another bottom, right? Okay. And that stayed down there for 2 months. So this whole period, we just sat down there, and then finally we went up, right? But that was a buy. Then we had another one, January, starting kind of around beginning of January 20. Was it January 20, 2022? So January 2022, right here. So that was also basically a buy, and you had a brief rally, and then obviously things died. And then where else? All right, June 2022. We stayed down there until June. Let's move a little bit further over. Yeah, June 2022 was here. So you could have bought here, and you would have only went down a little bit before you eventually would have been in profit. And we haven't had anything that low since. This is the first time in 2 years we've had this much fear. Yeah, Cole, you can give me stock requests. I will definitely take yours because I made you wait so long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I mean, look, if you're, so here's something interesting. I have an interesting stuff. So we've established that when historically, obviously history does not repeat, it rhymes. So this, not investment advice, but it looks like on balance, at least in crypto, when people are really afraid, like this afraid, it's generally a good buying opportunity. Okay, so that's one thing. Then on the other side, in stockland, they're also afraid, so we've got a double whammy there. Another interesting thing. So with altcoins, they got destroyed. And I have some retail friends that are not traders, but they have like crypto. During this period here, keep in mind this is a daily chart. So here, and especially here, and even around all here, okay, all in this area since this drop right here in February, all of February, all I've heard is altcoins suck. I hate altcoins. I'm never trading altcoins again. I'm only going to trade Bitcoin. I'm liquidating. I'm going into Bitcoin. So they were all pooping themselves and literally pooping their altcoins. And they changed to Bitcoin. And then what happened? So they changed to Bitcoin basically here. And now it's down here. So of course, fear is at 10. Like, this makes perfect sense based on the non-trading people that I've spoken to. They're not even pooping their pants anymore. Now they just have full on diarrhea. Like, I hope I can say that on YouTube. And I'm sorry if anyone's eating right now. But it's kind of funny in a way. Well, everyone I know, a lot of people I know, Bitcoin is not necessarily too expensive. They just thought the returns would be better with the altcoins. They didn't get those returns. So then they rotated into Bitcoin, and now they're screwed. So that, hopefully that explains what happened here. And I'm thinking what we could see is first altcoins might lead the rally. We might get an altcoin rally first and then Bitcoin. Sorry, a little bit allergic to all this bearishness. Okay, so I kind of made my case for the sentiment and why it behooves us to look for bullish setups. All right, that's that. Now I want to get into the normal market. What's going on here? Why did we drop like this? Actually, I have no idea why we dropped like this. You could probably come up with a million stupid reasons. Thank you, Kevin. But I mean, the main thing is, look, we've had divergence like this for a while. Weekly charts looked like shit. I talked about this multiple times. But we really haven't dropped that much in comparison to the fear. Yeah, does this look like a double top? Yeah, it could be, right? You've got divergence here all over the place, but we haven't broken down below my EMA. We're just at the spot we've gone to so many times, and we always bounced. We bounced. Look, I think it's worth it to take the risk and buy. And if we roll over, okay, you just exit here. You exit here. Because then it's fucked, right? But it seems like most of the time when we get a pullback, we kind of bounce, right? So here in the rally too, we bounced all these times. And if we don't bounce and we slice through here, we're going to go to this pink line next, which is my 50-week moving average. And from that pink line, we will bounce up to the midpoint. And that's where you exit. And you would basically be exiting at break even. So to show you here, let's say I'm wrong and we're not going to rally higher. And we're just going to get, maybe we're going to get more pullback and then a dead cat bounce. Well, worst case scenario, you pull back a bit down here, you take out these lows, and then it's going to do a dead cat bounce up to here. Basically the spot you're buying at right now. And you just exit there. And that's it. And then the bear happens, you go into shorts, so on and so forth. It's not rocket science. It's that simple. It's happened so many times. You just have to keep your emotions in check. And right now people are panicking. So just don't panic. Look at history and look at what's happened in the past. And all it takes is these simple moving averages that I'm using. And if anyone wants to copy it, you can. I don't care. It's on a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart. And this is, I don't even know what they are. I think this is a, no. Why does it need me to refresh it? So the pink one is 50. And the blue one, I'm pretty sure, is a 21. Yeah, 21. So 21.50. That's it. 21.50 EMAs. Simple. Keep it simple. So those are my thoughts on the S&P. I am buying here. I'm slowly adding to my Tesla positions. I've added to some Bitcoin mining positions. They're down massively. I did have short hedges. I took them off. I took them off a little bit early. I sold most of them on Tuesday. And then I've just been adding since then. Not been pleasant with the rollover, but I have to. With sentiment this bad, I have to do it. Now, we don't have an 8 or 9 on the daily chart yet. We just don't. So you are taking a bit of a risk. But as you can see here, I mean, you never had 7, 8s, or 9s that came in. It bounced every time without any kind of Tom DeMark setups coming in. The 4-hour, though, showed a couple bottom scenarios going back, right? 4-hour here, 4-hour here. A lot of scenarios with the 4-hour bouncing. So you had your 7, 8 come in here. You drew your RSI, and we have our bounce through it. And now we're just getting a retest. And theoretically, we should move up from here. So you're either going to move up or you break down, and we head down here. And we're here. Last chance to bounce, or we're going down here. And let me go back to my weekly chart with my moving average so I can kind of give you some better, rather than saying here, I'll give you some numbers. So if we break down, we're going down to like 57, 5600 area. Okay. And then you get your dead cat bounce. Now, if we only had a little bit lower, like to 58, as long as we don't go below 5,800, I think we're fine to go to new highs. But I don't want to see us going lower than that. Because then if you go lower than that and you close down here, the key is close, not a wick. But if you close down here, then that's the start of the bear market. And you're going to get a dead cat bounce. That's when you exit, and that's when you get in your short positions. That's it. Until then, you look for longs. That's at least that's my strategy. I'm not telling you what to do. I have to be careful with that. But what I'm doing is that. And it's based on the simple moving averages and the fact that investor sentiment is pure shit. Like, everyone is panicking. I don't even understand how people are panicking this much. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. I'm not panicking here. I see this as a good buying opportunity, and I want one more push higher with the TGA drawdown, and then I can exit right up here. I want this right here to swing all the way over here to extreme greed and do the same here. I want investor sentiment at 52.7%. And then I want a slow bleed. I don't want any quick plunges. I want, just a slow bleed for months. That's all I want to see. Okay, so that's kind of my take on the S&P. And we can look at Tesla. So Tesla's a big one, right? You guys are all interested in Tesla. Elon. Tesla fell off a cliff here. I sold a lot of my Tesla up here. And I'm happy with the rollover. I'm happy. I'm very happy that this happened. Because now I get to buy it cheaper. And you can see the ABCD has basically completed, right? This downside move. There you go. We're basically here at 275 area. And this is the 200-day moving average right here. Now, 200-day, do we think that 200-day moving average maybe is a support? I would say yes. I would say it's a decent support. So I'm building up my Tesla longs. I've been buying the past 3 days. Yeah, I bought some up here. Yeah, I bought some up here. I bought more down here. Could it fill this gap? Yeah, and I hope it does. And I'll buy even more. But I'm just buying spot. This is not leverage. This is not options. I'm dollar cost averaging. And on the way up, I will dollar cost average out. Because I know from like 10 years of trading experience that I cannot get the top or bottom perfectly. I maybe some people can, but I can't. So what works better for me is to slowly buy in and then slowly exit. And that seems to work well as long as my general theory on the company is correct. And with Tesla, I've talked about this since last summer. I really believe in the Optimus robot concept. And with Elon getting in government with Trump, I mean, it's only up from here. I don't see how that can be a bad thing. This is just a shakeout. They want to shake people out. If we look at this chart, I mean, this is the MACD is divergent. There's divergence here. Now, RSI doesn't look as good. Yeah, that's fine. They can hate, but in the end, who's wearing the big boy pants? It's Trump. And who does Trump love? Elon. This is all just noise. Look at it as a golden opportunity. Here's one problem. If you are concerned and you think I'm buying too early, and maybe I am, this is risky what I'm doing, I'm buying early. You wait. So you wait for the 3 TRI things that we talk about. Location, momentum, structure. The only thing we have right now is location. We're at 0.618. Generally, I like to buy in this area, 0.618 to 0.886. I don't think we're getting down here. We might get to here, 786, 215. If you're lucky, you'll get that. If it comes down here, believe me, I'm buying an insane amount. I have plenty of cash. I have cash to buy all the way down. So that's not an issue for me at all. If we get down here, I might even look into options, which I've avoided completely in Stockland. But if we get down to $200 or so, I'll maybe buy a 1-year leap. Why not? Right now, momentum, we haven't crossed over. I'm waiting for this. I want to see this. If we cross over, when we start, I'll buy a lot more over here once I have that better structure. But I'm buying now just in case we do bounce. But it's every day, small amounts, just dollar cost averaging. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Tesla. This is a good area to buy. If we fill the gap right here, that's another good area. Could we fill all the way down here? Yeah, sure. And those are my 3 buy areas. So I bought here, I'll buy again here, I'll buy again here. And if we look at a weekly chart, actually a weekly chart, you can see even the weekly broke down, right? But this long-term one, we go here. Let's look at a monthly chart, 1 month chart. 1 month didn't break down yet. Still in an uptrend, still could pull back. MACD is still positive. We did have a 7 and 8 on the monthly. So that makes sense as a pullback. You can see last time we had a 7 and 8, big pullback, but eventually we had a bounce. Yeah, it was a dead cat bounce, but at least it was a bounce. So like I said, that plays with my theory where If the market keeps pulling back, we might just get a dead cat bounce like this. And that's where you exit, and that's where you get into shorts. It's the same thing here. However, I'd like to see us move higher. That can also happen. Just like here, you had your 7, 8, and 9. You had a pullback. It took a couple months, consolidation, and then you moved to new highs. So we could also just do that, sit here a bit, and then move to new highs. Now, I would prefer a sharp reversal with TGA capital being injected. I hope that happens, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. This will be ugly if it closes out the month like this. That's kind of my thoughts. And like I said, this is subject to change based on what happens over the next few days. We can't go much lower. Otherwise, it's not a bull anymore. And it's just, we're going to look for dead cat bounces. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so that's Tesla. I talk about Walgreens a lot, right? So on a monthly chart, right, you can see this kind of turning a corner. You had a 7 and 8 come in. It hasn't gone full bull yet on this chart, but you do have MACD crossing over on the monthly. I do like how it looks. A lot of divergence here. I looked up, like, I sent this like 2 friends who are really into only what Wall Street kind of tells them to do. And they said they would never touch this. It's horrible. But to me, on a technical level, it looks like it's put in a nice bottom. Look at the 2-week. You know, I've talked about this a lot, and I drew this forever ago, back here in August. Not in August. I think I drew it here in like November or December. But it's basically following the lines I drew. So we had this push up, pull back again, and now we're getting the final push up, and we should have liftoff. It looks great to me. Weekly chart, just up, up, and away, right? So I'm bullish on this, and I have targets. And I'm long quite a bit, by the way. Up to about $20. That looks like it's going to be a solid area where you're going to run into resistance. So $20. And you can also see we're in the buy zone. We're right at 886 buy zone. If I zoom out, right, you can see I took fibs of basically the entire range from when this stock started to the top, and we came right down into the 886 range level, back to 1997 levels. Too much stock out, too much debt. Yeah, I mean, that's apparently the issue and why no one was interested in it that I sent it to. But from a technical perspective, to me, at least for a dead cat bounce, it looks decent. So I am long a good amount, and I'd like to see us at least get up to $20. My average purchase price was down here at about $9 to $10, $9 to $10. So I'll double my money up to here, and I'll sell half. And then if it rolls over, I see structure looks bad, I'll exit the rest. That's my play on Walgreens. Walgreens and Boots. Oh, yeah, risky a little bit, because the fundamentals are not amazing, but I like it from a technical perspective. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. Thank you, Cole. So not a long-term hold, but again, I like it from a technical perspective, and that's why I'm sharing it. Crypto miners. Are you guys interested in crypto miners? You can look at a few, like Mara, for example. So you can see how Mara broke down from my uptrend, although this is a little bit off from where it should be. It should be like that. Just like that. And just like this. Pretty much like, yeah, I prefer it actually like that. We broke down from my uptrending channel here, but it still has a day to regain it. I would like to see it back inside this channel. So that's something I'm watching, where it's basically washed out longs all the way back from November 2023. Quite a sell-off. So either we're dead and you get a little bit of a dead cat bounce and then we die, or this is a shakeout before we head up here. Probably like $40 or something. Those are your two scenarios, but I've bought more here. So that's Mara. Another one is Iron. Basically same sort of thing, where again we've got this uptrend that is breaking down, and it's now or never. It's do or die for these. Weekly chart also looks bad, right? Full breakdown right there. These need to recover. Daily has a 7 that's come in. Yeah, very bad on a 4. On a 4 hour, it looks really bad. All right, just looking at this, I don't see how it recovers. It looks like a disaster to me. So maybe I have too much bullish hopium. This definitely could head way lower. So I will put that word of caution in there. But I do own some of this as well. What else I want to talk about in Stockland? There's a couple, but I don't want to keep you guys too long. Why don't we just, if we can just go into crypto. You guys want to talk about stocks anymore, or you just want to go into crypto? It's really whatever you guys want to do. Whatever you want to do. Oh. Can you look at metals? Yeah, sure. Metals are always so boring to me. They don't really do anything. I just feel like compared to everything else, they move so slow. Weekly charts, that looks like an uptrend. You had a 9 that came in on Tom DeMark. Last time that happened, you had quite a pullback. Oh, not really a surprise there. How much of a pullback from the high to the low? You had a 8.8%. So equivalent here would be right here to 2,700. I don't think it's going to go that far. I think you'll get to like 2,750, something like that, like a 7% pullback from the high. Not from right now, but from the original high. Yes, Cole, I will. Okay, crypto. Everyone wants to change crypto. Okay, so that's my thoughts on gold. A daily looks like it's broken down. So I wouldn't be interested in this until it comes down here to this 2,750 level and then starts to put in structure and reversal. And then I would consider it. But for now, not that excited about gold. I think it had a nice run up January to February here. And now it's taking a break. So, yeah. Okay. Crypto. Everyone, the mob has spoken. The crowd has spoken. You guys want to look at crypto? Look at the ones I sent you. Well, why don't we look at Bitcoin first really quick? Oh, this is not the Bitcoin chart I want. We'll just do this one. Coin Deep Book. I don't know what that is. All right. So we are sitting basically around the 200-day moving average area. And that's the only support. There's nothing else. There's no other support. If we look at the range, this was the high. And that's the low there. Let me line that up. And reverse it. I drew it in the wrong direction. We went to 38.2. 0.5 is here. 0.618 is at 72. This is, if looking longer term, I mean, this is where you want to buy, right? If you're a bull, you're assuming that this 200-day moving average is going to hold and will bounce. And this is literally just a flush before the move higher. And that's what I'm thinking. I don't understand. I don't know why with fear at 10, what the benefit would be to push it even lower than this. I mean, let's look at liquidity. Is there a bunch of liquidity lower? But this could be old data, 3 months old. They could have changed positions and stuff. I find the further out you go, the less accurate it is, but they do have a lot at 72K. So that's probably why I've seen a lot of people talking about 72K because of this stuff. Yeah, if you look at 1 month, it's not as much. I especially liked looking at the liquidation map. I like to use this one that concatenates everything. So yeah, down to 83, you've got a good amount, and then 87 on the other side. But if we go out to like 30 days, there's really not a lot on the downside, but you've got a ton on the upside. Look at all of that. 13 billion, but here it's only like a billion. Even when we go to 7 days, it's not a lot. What is the point of going into the 70s? Why would they do that? It seems like all the liquidations are on the upside. That's what it seems like, just from looking at it here. But the chart is ugly. This is an ugly chart. This 4 hour looks like it could turn bullish, but this daily is a disaster. I mean, it's just a disaster. I can't you can't. Yeah, I can't recommend any longs here. I just can't. From a market structure standpoint, momentum, all of that stuff, it doesn't look good. So I would be very careful with any kind of Bitcoin longs here. There is a serious case to be made that this was just leg 1, and leg 2 is heading down here, 72 to 75, that area. I could see it happening. It could. I'm not saying it will, but I can see it. That's why people are talking about it. But on a 1 hour, it doesn't look horrible here. It really doesn't. This fear being at a max level plus the TGA being drawn down, this could be the area to buy. I mean, I'd almost recommend buy here and then set a stop just below these lows. If we go below 82, then you know it's heading lower. Maybe even set it at like 81. So then, and then you know we're going to drop another 9 to 10K, and then you just buy at 72. That would be my recommendation. Because you're going to be pissed if it rallies from here and you didn't buy. This daily really is crap, though. I'd love to see a TD 8 or 9 on the daily here, and we don't have it yet. Weekly still basically intact. So it's like your uptrend. It can't go much lower than this, because then you ruin the entire structure. We're supposed to get the point is that there should be one more wave higher, bounce from here, shoot, and you roll over there, and that coincides with us going up here to this 130, 140 area, and I think that's the last one, and then bear market. And this could happen quickly. I mean, Bitcoin can rally. It only takes 3 weeks. So this could reverse here, and then by mid-March, we're up here. Just understand that can happen. Okay, that's Bitcoin. I wanted to look at others quickly, and then I'll get into individual coins. Let me get rid of some of my artistic drawings here, my circles. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, basically the altcoin / shitcoin index is in an uptrend, just like that. I think this shows it quite well. Why is it like continually? Yeah, basically like that, I would say. I want to angle it a little bit more, but yeah, that's not the way. Okay, that's your uptrend, and as long as it doesn't go below this 200-week moving average, you're still in this uptrend. Just like that, right? And there's kind of your bottom being put in. Although I don't like using this interface. I'm going to change to this one. Others. Yeah, there you go. There we go. That's what I wanted. I was wondering why it wasn't showing my drawings. So on a weekly chart, you know, MACD is negative. RSI doesn't look great. But on a daily, we've crossed over the RSI downtrend, and we've retested the lower bounds twice. And this looks like it's actually setting up for a bullish move higher. And that's why I'm accumulating altcoins. I'm not buying Bitcoin. I'm accumulating altcoins because altcoins look primed to move higher. They have been preparing for a while. And I could see us move up here to this 450 billion where we're going to put in a divergence between these two where we'll be slightly higher, but RSI is going to be much lower. And that's going to be the move before the rollover happens. But as you can see from where we are right now, that's an average move of 90% across all the altcoins. Seems like not a bad idea to me. You could wait and see if we get, if Bitcoin dumps, you could get a move down here. And then you could buy down here. Maybe it even goes below this November 2024 low. And you could buy in there. But I'll be surprised if that happens. Only if Bitcoin drops to below in the mid 70s, unless it drops to the mid 70s. Otherwise, I don't particularly see it happening. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing with the others. Let's look at what you guys were asking about. So let's start with coal because you've been very patient. RNG. No. Oh, this is one of the guns you said are not. Maybe you can tell me which one. I'm gonna check the next one in the meantime. Can't find that one either. What are these coins? Did you mean to write Tesla and it's like what is this? Stellantis? Is it a stock? I don't know what these are. RNG. Ring Central. SEDG. I'm guessing these are all stocks. Okay, so we'll look at these stocks quickly per Cole's request. This one looks like the weekly fell off a cliff. And that's a pretty bad breakdown. I'm not a fan of that at all. Yeah, I figured it out. Thank you. 7 and 8 on Tom DeMark is not bad. I don't like how RSI looks. But you are at the bottom end of the range. And every time you've been at the bottom of the range, things seem to have bounced. So, yeah, you're right at that 88.6 area. I don't see anything wrong with, trying along here and putting your stop below the lows, right? Something like that. No reason why that couldn't work, but I just don't, from a momentum indicator standpoint, I don't think it looks great yet. But otherwise, I like it. Hello, Cotter. Wow, good to see you. Cotter is, if you guys ever want to know what a master trader at TRI looks like, just look up Cotter. Cotter is the master. Okay, so that's Ring. I think it's just based on location. It's in a decent area. I just don't like the momentum indicators. How they're looking. Solar Edge. Oh. Yeah, this is interesting. Look at that. Yeah, this is interesting. Very bullish MACD. Price just crossed over bullish. I wish you asked me about this when it was at $12 or $13. Like it would have been good to buy down here. I'm not saying it's a bad buying opportunity. It still looks good to me. But I think it would have been obviously nicer to buy quite a bit lower. What to do here? 7 and 8 came in. Your range is basically this. You tagged your 1.618 level and got rejected. Eventually you could go to $40. Which kind of lines up with Yeah. This area actually not an amazing lineup. I would want to see it move up and get resisted at the $47 area. Regardless, I think on a weekly chart it looks good. Really good. It's kind of just looking for the opportunity to enter. I think if it can get a bit of a pullback, maybe in 16 area, you can buy and look for that move into the 40s. Otherwise, yeah, interesting chart. STLA. Stellantis. Wow, we're at 50 to 54 people. The market must be crashing. Everyone's worried. Monthly, let's look at this. Wow, 9 on the monthly. Okay, that's a good thing. I like seeing that. That is a... I don't like how the MACD looks. Last time MACD sat down here like this, you had a lower move, but the other time it just reversed. Oh, that shows that can't really rely on that. Weekly seems to be trying to put in an uptrend, but it's still in a bear trend. MACD is in an uptrend. I think this is another one of those cases where you buy with a bullish lean and you just set a stop. If it goes below it, you exit. Yeah, it looks like uptrend. Whoa. Uptrend still intact, but I don't know anything about the fundamentals. Yeah, Cotter just posted they have big issues. So anyway, it's in a decent buying location, and if it can move higher here to fill this gap, you can get a solid return. No, not bad. Thank you, Cole, for asking about those 2021 cars in lot that have a lot of rot. Not a good buy. Oh yeah, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, from a fundamental perspective, I like I said, all of these we talk about, I haven't looked at fundamentals. I'm purely talking about from a technical standpoint, and I recommend to do your due diligence. Okay, let's see. What else did you want to look at? Little check of that last little W would be sick on that solar stock. Yeah, I agree. Wow, 56 people. Hello, all of you people. Welcome to my live stream. Are you gonna lose all your money? Maybe. If you don't watch this, you might. Okay. Somebody asked about Solana. So the ultimate rug pull network. Sol right now still in a downtrend. Perfect downtrend. I'm simply waiting and waiting and waiting some more for this to cross over. And once it does, then it's a buy. For now, it's not. Hasn't crossed over. Still in a downtrend. It is in the perfect zone. So we've got the right area from a structural standpoint. From a momentum standpoint, so structure, check mark, good. But from momentum, bad, nothing. And then, yeah, price structure, we don't really have that much. Might be able to go off like a smaller time frame chart, but there's really not a lot to go off of. There's that. This is maybe like kind of a W. Maybe it's an M. Weekly doesn't look great. It did break down. It looks like complete shit. So there is that problem. But on a daily chart, I'm watching this closely for crossover. So that's kind of my thoughts on Solana. Not ready to buy it yet, but hopefully soon. Oh, Rune. Okay, we can talk about Rune quickly. Oh, actually, I have it here. I don't know why I loaded it again. I have it right there. So, weekly obviously is very bad. Daily looks solid. MACD is in an uptrending area, and we crossed over on RSI. Now it seems like we're having a bit of a pullback. Oh, maybe this was a fake out. But overall, it looks like it wants to move higher, and I think they're just flushing out late longs. That's really it. And you can see this dumping. I don't want to see this go below 130. If it does, then a lot of things are invalidated. So something to keep in mind with Rune, you don't want it to see it go back below here into the 120 area. What are you guys talking about? Rune? Yeah, I just showed Rune. Solana, yeah, we talked about Solana. Could you comment on the purchase of put options in the US version versus... I don't know anything about the European version, so I cannot comment. You know who can? Copy and paste that in the ChatGPT. I think you'll get a great response. But I honestly, I don't feel comfortable talking about that topic because I don't know anything about European options. Never traded it. Rune 1 hour, please and thanks. Okay, so so you have a 7, 8, and 9 that's come in, which is good, and you have this 200 period moving average on the 1 hour that has provided support in the past. However, it looks pretty crappy on these lower time frames. Like I don't see anything showing a reversal here yet. It's just nothing. It's just straight down. You know. But it looks like this is just a flush before potentially moving higher. Everyone is focused on Epstein list. Yeah, that's a big deal, that Epstein list. Oh my God. Yeah, we'll see. We've still got a whole 24 hours before that comes out. Optimism is another one I've been watching. Nice bounce here on the 12 hour. And you can even see on a daily, right? So we're on the other side, which explains why these are doing so well in comparison to Bitcoin. Except for Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of sucking, but still holding this uptrend. Oh, we'll see what happens there. But this seemingly random, but not random up these wicks. Yeah, sorry, not wicks. They're Brian gets so mad at me because I always confuse the terms, and it's so simple. But I on broadcast sometimes I just say the wrong thing. But something is holding Ethereum up, so I wouldn't get too bearish down here. Sui is another one I'm watching. Like I said, and it looks like others, where you're on the other side of the downtrend line and it's trying to put in a W, but just failing a bit at that because Bitcoin is having a temper tantrum. Somebody asked Flux. Zirkella. Flux. Flux is a cool name. Let's see here. Oh, this one looks really crappy. I would be careful with this one. I mean, I see why you're interested in it. It's been beaten down pretty bad. Yeah, it's a tough one. I could see this making new lows. It just doesn't look great from my perspective. I would avoid it until, and I would set an alert. So I'm gonna like set an alert. And until it crosses over this alert line, I would avoid this personally. I just think it looks bad. Aria, hello Aria. Render. So with US options, when they're in the money, you get full redemption, but European is speculative. So whatever the market will bear, US costs much more. Okay. Render. Let's look at render. Yeah, I mean, it's similar to a lot of the stuff I've showed where it's just still in the downtrend. So you have to wait. You have to wait for this downtrend to end because we could go lower. Could flush everyone out down here, $3, $2.50. There's no reason why we can't go higher. I need to wait personally for this RSI to cross over, and then I can start buying longs, especially in these kind of coins. You just can't buy willy-nilly. You need to have a clear plan. Zeno and Gala, please. Lunar cycle of March before setups. Yeah, maybe that's true. Oh, Xano. I haven't talked about Xano in a long time. I mean, you had your 8 and 9 that came in on the weekly, which caused it to reject and head lower. I could put in a W here. Not really clear. You can see it retrace back to that 61.8 level. 61.8 is an important level, so make sure to pay attention to that. But it doesn't look great to me. It's the same as everything else we've looked at. If stuff moves up, if Bitcoin moves up, then there's no reason why this, Xano can't do this, right? And head up to like $19 from 850. There's no reason why that can't happen. Just don't bet the farm on it. Yeah, this one's been around a while. Damn, really washed out. Yeah. So this one, maybe you can get like a 3x. Looks. Yeah, it is in a buy zone, right? We're at 88.6. 88.6, structure trying to form, divergence with momentum. I kind of like it. I might even nibble a bit myself. Gonna set 2 alerts. Okay. You're welcome, Arya. Of course. Quonk/WBNB. Archery, what is that? Quonk/WBNB. I don't know what that is. Did anyone else ask anything and I missed it? A lot of people asked about Rune. You guys were really interested in Rune. Litecoin. Shola asked about Litecoin and XRP. Yeah, so Litecoin is really bucking the trend here. Extremely strong. It's at 126 while Bitcoin is at 84. So that's interesting. Weekly for that is in an uptrend. No real disruption. We do have this ABCD for Litecoin leading up to $200. So that's the one I'm kind of watching, and I'm seeing how we broken down from structure? Are we maintaining the upward trajectory? And that kind of determines what I'm doing. So right now I actually have a bunch of Litecoin. So I'm rooting for this to go higher. I'm like, come on, go. Come on, I've been waiting so long. Go. The other one was so Litecoin and what was the other one? Where is it? Oh, so many like things in chat. Oh. Stella, is there anything I missed, guys? Yeah, I don't. Maybe making up for not doing nothing last cycle. Yeah, I can't find the. You wanted to look at Litecoin. Where? XRP. I think it was XRP. You wanted to look at XRP. Let's do that. Yeah, XRP is interesting because this is scary, but RSI didn't break down on a weekly chart yet. So what is stopping them from just doing that eventually? And then you're at $4. I've said it before. I know a lot of people that own XRP, they think it's going to go to like 10 and all this craziness. 4 seems right to me. If we get a rally, then $4 per XRP seems is acceptable. But really, the next week is critical. Can things hold and bounce, or is it actually game over? And investors are correct with their sentiment for the first time in history. Everyone's running around like they have the like chickens with their heads cut off. But in reality, nothing big has happened yet. Mujo asked for Deep Book. What is that? Deep book. Deep book USDT. Yeah, I never heard of this one. Never heard of it. Yeah, for this one, it doesn't look great to me. Maybe it's the same as these other ones where, 1 second. Yeah. So this one looks similar to others we've looked at where I want to see it W and RSI. I want to see MACD turn positive, and then price should move higher. And if this one can, then from here, assuming that's a low, potential is 34 cents, which is pretty solid move. I would be happy with that. When does the next TRI class start? Next class starts in May, second week of May. Yeah. Link, please, if you have time. Okay. Yeah. Last one. Link. Let's look at it. Thank you for the question, Constantine. Yeah. I mean, you have an 8 that's come in. You've got divergence with MACD. It looks pretty good. You've retraced. Where did he retrace to? Oh, wow. Retrace to 61.8, just like everything else that we've looked at. Seems like everything just was programmed to go to the same level. So I feel like a broken record, but we just got to see which way things flow. Right now, everything's in kind of a downtrend, and I don't see a reversal yet. That's why I'm dollar cost averaging at small amounts, just in case there's a V reversal and I miss it. All right. It's 1:40 a.m. now. Normally I go to bed at like 11, so I'm dead, and I'm gonna call it a night. Just be careful out there. Avoid leverage for now, especially if you have a long bias. Consider just dollar cost averaging into stuff. And if it dumps a lot more, you can just cut it. Wait for the dead cat bounce and then cut it. Don't cut it as soon as the move happens, because you're probably going to get to it too late and lose money. Consider holding, wait for the bounce, and then exit on the bounce. It's also not easy to do, so you got to make your own choices. Okay. As always, hope you guys have a great weekend. Make sure to get away from the computer, exercise, all that good stuff, spend time with family, and look for my report. It's not coming out tomorrow, but maybe this weekend, maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. And I'm going to try to make it worthwhile for you guys and go over longer time frame, higher perspective stuff that could be going on with crypto markets in particular, but also stock market, and where I think we could be heading next, including a bearish take. Okay,